Do you have some internal applications that you want to gain access to externally? If they're insecure applications, you certainly don't want to make them available on the internet. Traditionally, we would have done something with port forwarding. However, if they're insecure, you definitely don't want to do that. In order to solve that problem, you may want to use a product like Cloudflare Tunnels. Cloudflare Tunnels is a really, really simple setup. You have an agent installed locally, and you configure everything else via the web interface, and you can have an insecure application on your internal network accessed externally by a completely secure HTTPS browser. So let's have a look at exactly how to set up Cloudflare Tunnels using Cloudflare's Zero Trust. So over here, we're using the DevOpsDiary.io domain. You can use any domain you wish. If you go down here, you have something called Access. So let's click on Access. And then we're told here that Cloudflare Access has moved to the Zero Trust dashboard. So let's click on that. So it's at one.dash.cloudflare.com. I need to pick an account. I've got a couple of accounts here. And here we are. We are now in the Cloudflare Zero Trust dashboard. So the first thing that I want to do is go ahead and set up the tunnel. So if we click on Access here, we go down here and we can see tunnels. Let's click on Tunnel. And let's create our first tunnel. Let's call our tunnel. So today I'm actually going to expose my AWX installation externally. It's just a test installation. In fact, we can see it all here. And I'm going to make that available externally. So I'm just going to call it AWX. I then need to go ahead and install the connector. Now, the connector actually allows us to access anything on the network. So we don't need to install the connector specifically on the AWX node. And in fact, in this example, I'm going to install it on a server that I have running Docker, just so it's easy to show you. As you can see here, you can install it on Windows by installing an MSI. You can install it on a Mac by using Brew, Debian, or Red Hat. But today we're going to install it on Docker. So this is what we need to run. So we're going to copy this. Here is my machine running Docker. We're going to paste this in. Now, a couple of things I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in daemon mode. I'm going to give it a name. Obviously, we can do the whole auto restart and things like that. We don't need to do that today for this demo, but obviously, as with any container, you can add other arguments along here. So as we can see, it is unable to find the image, as I've never run this on this particular Docker container, Docker host. So it's going to go onto the internet, go to the Docker Hub, download the container image, and then start it up. So let's give it a few minutes to do that, and I'll speed this video up and meet you back here once that's downloaded and running. And there we go. So it's downloaded the image. And if we quickly just do a Docker PS, what we should see at the top here is that we have this Cloudflare tunnel running. Now, if I did a Docker logs on there, we can look through here and just see that the connection seems to be okay. We've got a few in here. There's no particular errors. So let's move this out of the way and go back to the console, and we can see here our connector. So we can see here that it's connected, and it's connected to 2 data centers. So as far as I'm concerned, we're ready to go. Cloudflare is connected to our Docker container, and it can use that as a proxy to access any machines in the network. Let's click on Next. And now what we can do is set up the actual domain name that we want to connect to AWX with. I'm going to do AWX. In the domain, you've got all of your domains available here. I'm just going to hide them for security reasons, and we are going to pick the DevOps diary. And I could specify an optional path here, which I'm not going to do, but you can actually have subdomains with a /path, and those subsequent path messages at the end could move to different things. So I could just do the devopsdiary.io/AWX /Docker Hub clone /anything we want. And then when we go down here, we've got the service, and this is the important bit. So service, we've got HTTP. If we just want to do pure unencrypted traffic, we've got HTTPS, which is what we're going to do today. We can do sockets. We can just do straight TCP connections, SSH, RDP, Samba shares, HTTP. Because AWX is on HTTP. It's not on HTTPS. Cloudflare is going to give us HTTPS, but the service that we are connecting to is HTTP. Let me now go and grab this IP address and pop it in here. And remove this. There we go. And then I'm going to hit Save Tunnel. And there we go, it's up. And we can see that it says it's healthy, which means the tunnel is actually up working and it can connect to here. So if I go to New Tab and type this in and do HTTPS, what we'll see now is a fully encrypted version of AWX that I can access on the internet. And there we have it. You can gain access to an internal machine on your network via a nice HTTPS fully secure connection with only really a few clicks and a little bit of setup. So I really hope that video was useful. If it was, please like the video. If you find the videos that I make in general useful, I'd really appreciate the subscribe. Click the bell if you want to, be notified when I next upload my next video. And I just want to say thank you for taking the time to watch it. Thanks.